Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD. In today's video we're going to focus on understanding the spawns in Domination for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I know a lot of times this comes up in the comment section where people will go, well, how do you know where people are coming from? And I think to a lot of people the spawns feel very random, but once you really understand them, it becomes really easy to identify where the enemies are going to be coming from based off where you are, where your teammates are, where the different locations are on the map that your teammates are located, as well as the objectives that are captured. So I'm actually going to cover 3 different maps for Domination. If you'd like to see other maps or modes, let me know down in the comment section below. And if at any point you learned something or do enjoy the video in any way, please remember to hit that like button so we can get this video over 500 likes. And of course, if you're looking to find your way back to the channel, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on. So let's go ahead and get into this first map. Right now I'm playing Gridlock, and I have it set up in a private match with a constant UAV. So you can see the little red dots on the mini-map where the enemies are, and you'll see they all spawn directly in front of me. So as long as I stay behind that little area that I just crossed through, all the enemies will continue to spawn in this back area. So that's a lot of times why spawn trapping happens in these types of modes. People already know these types of concepts, they position the right way, and they eliminate enemies. So right here you can see they're all spawning out, they spawn directly in front of me, and once I overtake this objective, you're going to see a bunch of them start to spawn on the opposite side of the map by the A flag. So I went ahead and captured the objective, ended up finishing clearing them out, and then now they're all spawning on the opposite side of the map. There's still a guy up top here, he jumps down, end up shooting him in the back, or try to, and you can see how that influences spawns in a way that I predicted. What ends up happening is you see all the enemies are on this side of the map, and then they've been able to take over the A flag. The second I go ahead and kill them, if I go ahead and take the A flag, they're going to go ahead and spawn on the opposite side of the map. And it kind of repeats that process. And a lot of people try to triple cap when they're playing Domination, which is one of the worst things you can do as far as map control goes. So the behavior that I'm demonstrating right now is the behavior that you typically want to avoid. A lot of times this makes it hard to predict enemies. You can see we end up losing 2 of the flags because they ended up getting C and A because I didn't end up getting A when I cleared them out. Now we have like a split spawn. A couple spawn on this side, a couple spawn on the other side, and it makes it very hard to predict where enemies are going to be. Obviously, I got that constant UAV in the air, so it makes it that much easier. But without that, you'd have sporadic spawns, wondering why you're getting shot in the back all the time. Well, if you were the contributor to the problem, you don't really have anyone to blame but yourself. So right here in this scenario, I've gone ahead and I flipped the spawns multiple times. Now we have A and B, so they should all be spawning at C where they were before. What I'm going to do is skip to the second half and I'm going to demonstrate what the ideal behavior looks like. So this time around, I'm not going to flip the spawns. I'm actually going to make sure they're controlled in a way that the enemies keep coming from the same directions over and over and over again. So right here, you can see I'm staying on B. I won't actually push too far. I end up killing a few guys there. And you can see they're all funneling through this direction. And every time I kill them, they continue to spawn by the A flag. I go ahead and peek around, get a couple kills, and I'm continuing to stay in this area. You can see that guy who's kind of working his way around the flank, and that's what could potentially ruin the spawns. And my teammate's going to end up killing them. I'm clearing out the middle area. So right now you can see all the enemies continue to stay in front of me. And a lot of times what people don't realize is when you make the spawns very consistent, you know where they're at, your kills will increase, your deaths will decrease because you're not getting shot in the back nearly as often, and you're able to eliminate enemies from a predictable area. I'm not pushing in here, and they continue to spawn from that area. I stay on the B flag, and they continue to spawn in that back area. A couple more guys trying to flank around. I start heading that direction, and then my teammate ends up killing them. So you'll go ahead and see as I move towards that direction. So that's a perfect example of what it means to have map control. You're predicting where the enemies are going to be. You're controlling specifically where they're going to be. I'm not necessarily spawn trapping because I'm not seeing them spawn. I'm not moved up in that area, locking it down so they can't spawn anywhere but there. But they do have their side of the map to work with. I'm not going to push through there recklessly. And right now you can see that this guy spawned in the back area all the way in the far corner because the strike team pushed a little too deep into his area of spawning, so he wouldn't have had a safe spawn. So that's something you got to be aware of with streaks. They can manipulate them slightly. You put up a sentry gun or whatever the case is, you can actually manipulate the spawn so that it forces them to spawn out to a safer location. And I know there's a lot of people that struggle with this because it does require patience to stay in a general area. As I push through the area, there's a likelihood that I'm going to flip spawns. So a lot of times you got to get in, get out, focus on where your teammates are. There's still someone in the back of the spawn kind of holding that area down. That guy gets killed that's trying to get the flank, and all the enemies continue to be right in front of me. So let's go ahead and look at a few more examples on different maps. So I skipped ahead so we can get into the action on jungle, and right here you can see I clear out all these guys, and then they're all going to spawn in the back of this map. I clear out this next one, but since the spawns are so heavy in this back area, look at they all spawn literally on each other. All 5 of them or 4 of them or whatever the case is, I take them all out, but now that I'm in their spawn, they're going to flip out to either the other side of the map, or if the village is open, they'll go ahead and spawn somewhere in the village. But it looks like most of my teammates pushed towards the middle of the map, so all the enemies were able to spawn in that back corner. And the spawns stay pretty rigid. You can do the exact same exercise that I was talking about, where you lock it down, you make the spawns very predictable, because you can see all the enemies are coming from this general area. If I'm pushing through the spawn to flip them, I can go ahead and kill them, or whatever the case is. And the second I kill them, then I go ahead and push to C. There's a high likelihood that they're going to spawn over by A if I actually capture C. Since I didn't capture C, they still spawn in this back area, pretty much all 4 or 5 of them. So let's go ahead and swap over to the second half where we can demonstrate the spawns not flipping. You can see a bunch of my teammates went towards B, so I went ahead and made sure I captured A. It doesn't look like a really good spot here, so I go ahead and take out the first guy. The other guy comes out with this little heat wave reactor core, and now I'm coming around the left side, and you can see a lot of enemies are in the middle of the map. Once we clear this middle of the map, they're all going to spawn in the backside by C. So that's really all we're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and take out a few of them. There's still a few of them sitting in the middle of the map. I end up getting caught on some tripwire I didn't even pay attention to, but you can see where they're all located. They're all right in the middle of the map, and we're going to watch this happen in real time. So I come out, get an easy kill, my teammates on the objective, we kill them all, and now look where they're all spawning. Over there, back C. You're going to end up capturing this, and then they're all literally coming out of C. And you'll see that there is one guy crossing the bridge, and he's going to work his way over to the middle of the map, so he can kind of jump down. We'll go ahead and get to that guy when it's time. But you can see him pretty much clearing these guys out, taking out most of them, and then there ends up being a guy behind us that's jumping down. So he's taking out a good bulk of them. They're all killed. The heat wave got the guy. But look at that mini-map. Pay close attention to where they're spawning. They continue to spawn in this back area, literally on top of each other. All 5 of them just spawned in, and as I kill them, if I creep too far forward, they're going to spawn on the far right side, and you'll see it happen and play out right here. So right now we've killed them all. I am a little too close, and now they're all spawning on that far right side. I could either run through C, and that could potentially flip the spawns, but they've all decided to come this direction. And I'm going to go ahead and kill them again. They're all bulked up. Obviously, they're recruit bots. There's nothing special about them. Continue to kill them. Got the streaks coming in, all that good stuff. And then they're going to see they continue to spawn in that exact same area. No enemies are pushed up on that right side, so if there was an enemy maybe at this little window, he could have actually been seeing them spawn in, or that doorway of that little hut up to the top of that ladder. And then it makes it really simple. So this is the general basics on how to control the map. And what I'm talking about when it comes to map control, these are the things that I'm actually referencing. Actually manipulating the map and controlling where the spawns are, where your teammates are positioned, you really don't have much control over. But more often than not, when you control a certain section of the map the right way, a lot of times your teammates just fit a specific role. Even if they're not very good, they'll have a general idea of where they need to position themselves, and they'll go there because that's where it's safe to be. And obviously there's those other teammates where they have to jump on the objective every 2 seconds. Those are not going to be the ones that are going to be the best teammates, because they're going to continue to flip the spawns and make it nearly impossible for map control. So you can see this teammate in the back left spawn. So the enemy just spawned in this little hut in the back of the village. So these random spawns are the ones that will occur every time your teammates push the spawns when they're not supposed to. So I'll show you a third map, and I'm just going to show you the map control part of it. So you can see right here, I went ahead and killed everyone off of B. All the bots just laid up top there. Had to finish off this last one. But you can see they're all spawning down below. As long as I position myself the right way, they're going to continue to spawn in this area. If I push too deep, then they're going to either spawn at the church on the right, or I have the potential to spawn them out to the left. But as long as I kind of stay back, they're going to continue to spawn in front of me. I'm going to be able to position around here. You can see they spawned on this side. I can peek out, get an easy kill. There's another one. I don't quite finish him off, but my teammate is taking him out as he comes around the mid. Then I end up coming out and I kill this guy. I don't want to actually capture the objective just yet. I get up a second gun, and now we're still in control of the map. And the vast majority of the enemies are all spawning in the same direction. I come out, I can kill this guy here, and you can see them all literally spawning together at the exact same part of the map. They come out, I go ahead and get a kill there, get a kill there, and they continue to spawn out. The guy spawned out left side, and there's a guy who spawned out church, and that's just because the strike team was a little too close, not really safe. There's a guy back here. I go ahead and rotate around because I want to clear that out. If the guy gets too deep on my side of the spawn, then the spawns will rotate and flip. So all I'm doing is focusing on maintaining the spawn. So when you get those UAVs, you got to make sure that, okay, who's manipulating the spawns in a good way and who's manipulating them in a bad way. So right here, again, all the enemies are going to be right in front of me. You see they're spawning together. And that's pretty much how the spawning works in this game. So the only thing you really got to keep in mind is that there's going to be different variations depending on what mode you play. So hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, hit the like button. If not, that's cool too. And if you want to find your way back to the channel, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with notifications on. We'll see you all on the next one. Appreciate the support. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.